The phone had barely gone silent when I found myself moving. Down the corridor, toward the stairs, toward whoever was waiting for me. I don't remember deciding to go. My body simply obeyed a command I never gave out loud. He found me. The thought stayed lodged in my chest as I descended. One step, and then another, hand sliding along the railing as if the wood itself was the only solid thing left. The lobby opened beneath me in muted colors and soft morning light. Voices, the clink of cups, someone zipping a suitcase. It could have been any hotel lobby on any ordinary day, except that for me, it wasn't ordinary at all. I saw him before I was ready. A man standing near the reception desk, back turned to me, tall enough, broad enough, the kind of presence that bent space around him. Is that him? My feet slowed on the last steps. The world narrowed to his silhouette, the line of his shoulders, the way he held his head. That stillness. No, it can't be. I would recognize him instantly. I always did. I took another step. My heart hammered so hard it felt like it might bruise my ribs from the inside. The man shifted his weight, one foot slightly forward. It was such a small movement, but it hit me like a slap. That's him. It has to be him. The way he stood, grounded, like he owned the floor he was standing on. The way his spine held straight, commanding space without asking for it. Of course he came. Of course he did. He always does. My mouth went dry. My fingers tingled. I wasn't sure if I was walking toward him or toward the end of my life as I knew it. The receptionist said something to him. I didn't hear what. The words blurred, melted into the hum of the lobby. The man turned, and the world shifted. It wasn't Robert. Dark, slightly wavy hair, damp at the tips from the snow outside, 2-day stubble softening the angles of his jaw, civilian coat instead of a uniform. No gloves, no polished mask of a public figure. His eyes found mine, dark, sharp, and suddenly softer. Eva? My name in his voice dropped through me like a stone into deep water. David. For a second, everything inside me went quiet. Robert wasn't here. Robert hadn't come. Relief burst through my chest so fast it almost hurt. I inhaled for real, lungs filling all the way for the first time that day. And right behind it came fear. Because if he wasn't here, if David was, then this wasn't a rescue. This was something else entirely. I stopped a few steps away from them. I must have looked ridiculous. Coat half-fastened, hair still damp from the shower, hands clenched at my sides. I couldn't make my mouth work, so I nodded instead. David's shoulders lowered by a fraction, a tiny, involuntary softening, like his body remembered me before his mind caught up. For a moment, I saw the boy I used to know, the one who used to carry my school bag when it was too heavy, the one who listened when I played the piano as if every note belonged to him. Then the moment was gone. The man in front of me was a detective again. "Thank you for coming down," he said quietly. "I know this isn't easy." I still couldn't speak. My throat felt sealed shut. He glanced around the lobby, then back to me. "Can we talk somewhere a little more private?" he asked. "If you're up to it." "Here is fine," I managed, though my voice didn't sound like mine. "Here is okay." There was a small seating area just off to the side. 2 armchairs and a low table, half hidden by a tall plant that had seen better days. David gestured toward it. "Let's sit for a moment." I walked beside him, feeling the space between us like a live wire, close enough to feel his presence, far enough that we weren't touching. We sat. My knees suddenly felt too weak to hold me anyway. For a heartbeat, neither of us spoke. Up close, I could see the snow melt in his hair, tiny droplets clinging to a few dark curls near his temple. There were faint shadows beneath his eyes, the kind you get from too many long nights and too little sleep. The faint line of an old scar split his eyebrow, catching the light. He folded his hands together slowly, as if choosing each movement with care. "I'm sorry we're meeting again like this," he said. His voice had changed since we were kids, deeper, steadier, but there was something in it I still recognized. The way he softened certain words, the way "sorry" sounded like he meant it. I looked at him, but the lobby felt distant, like a set on a stage I hadn't agreed to perform on. "Eva," he continued, "I have to tell you something, and I'm afraid there isn't an easy way to say it." The floor seemed to tilt under my feet. My fingers dug into the armrests of the chair. He watched me carefully, as if checking whether I was going to break. "Your husband, Robert," he paused, jaw tightening for a moment. "Robert was found this morning at your home." My ears rang. My heartbeat roared so loudly it drowned out half the room. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. "He's dead, Eva," David said gently. "I'm so sorry."